Hello and welcome back to Finishing the Line, proudly sponsored by Hollywood Bets and Hollywood's best number one fan right next to us today. Kid out a new t-shirt, bit of chest hair showing. What's he trying to impress today?
Very sexy.
Oh, he's like Ron Burgundy of Wexford.
Sexy.
I'm roasted. I enjoy it.
Oh, it's a great start already.
Is it even working?
It is. I turned it on.
I don't know, lads.
Looking well.
Yeah, the light actually. I don't know what way. And I've got a new camera, so that's coming next week. I arrived today. I just haven't had a chance to set it up yet. So yeah, should make me look even clearer, like you guys.
You look less sunburned today.
You are very sunburned on Sunday.
It's starting to go brown now. It's not too bad. It was fairly red now. Yeah.
Kubo texted me, is it fucking 35 degrees in Wexford? I was like a tomato.
I'm telling you, that Mother's Day and then the Sunday afterwards, the Sunday afterwards, cutting the hedge. It's so hot.
It's like 10 degrees, I think. How'd you get sunburned?
It was at least 15, 16 degrees. And it was really sunny. It was really sunny. And I was out all day, you see. So.
Can you turn him up?
Bad times if you can't hear me. Jesus.
Okay.
Finish getting dressed now.
Wonder if he's like.
He's getting old.
Wonder if he's like our man in the Diet Coke ad from years ago. You know, he's fucking washing his hedge and cutting his hedge.
You can see him in his dungarees on his ride-on lawnmower.
I do own a ride-on lawnmower. Yes. Yeah.
Siobhan out the window, getting all hot and steamy with our Diet Coke in her hand.
The sex symbol of Campbell Wexford, Tom Rain.
Wouldn't be hard, to be fair. Wouldn't be hard, yeah.
You see him riding the Zoften shirtless down the quays of New Ross.
You see a lot of shirtless people riding horses. New Ross, I'll tell you that much.
Giving out strawberries.
Picking strawberries. The two of you have got to come down here 1 week. We've got two decent pubs. Well, one very decent pub and one okay pub in the village. So
we're still waiting for an invite.
How does Rofford?
What's that?
We're still waiting for an invite. Sure, you don't tell us which weekend or
we'll have to plan. We'll have to plan this, and you'll have to come down. Be a bit of crack. Tear up.
Well, why don't we do the
get there?
The Royal Ascot Saturday down in Camp Oil.
Yeah. Could do that.
He doesn't sound convinced at all. That was the most unconvincing yes ever.
I'm just wondering, like, I don't know.
See?
No, I'm not convinced.
We're just wondering what, Tom?
Arc weekend.
I enjoyed the beer garden, you see, the last day in Waterford for Royal Ascot, and it was quite nice.
It's true.
I'd nearly rather have a barbecue up at the house and get the TV out and all that to watch Royal Ascot on Saturday. Then go down the pub. There you go. That's what we do.
Okay, that sounds great.
There you go.
I like that.
Well done, Tom.
That's what we do. And if it's raining, we'll just go down the pub first.
And stay on.
Use the oven. The joys of using the oven, you can cook inside.
Wow.
Dave has just discovered modern technology.
He's now cooking for himself.
It's been a long day. Very long day.
Before we get on to what's going to be a long-ass podcast, Sunday, the Cora, Hollywood Bets, Gladness Stakes, anyone that commented under the last video, you all get tickets. And like Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey.
You're thinking of Ellen DeGeneres.
Ellen.
She's the one who goes.
You get a car. You get a car.
No, that's Ellen.
That was Oprah.
I'm pretty sure it was Ellen.
€50 was Oprah.
Or Ryan Tuberty.
Yeah.
One for
the audience.
That's it. Everyone gets tickets. So anyone that has wrote down, I can't even remember what I said, Hollywood Bets in Dakar or whatever it was, put your email address underneath that and you will be sent e-tickets on Friday, I think, from Dakar. Yeah. Anyway, We will start the show 3 days of the Aintree Grand National Festival, and we have a lot of races to get through. So we are going to start tomorrow with the Manifesto Novice Chase, Grade 1, Warlord is 5-2, Erin River 10-3, Pictory 7-2, Gin on Lime is 7-2, Miller's Bank 50-2, the Widowmaker 33-1. David O'Keefe, Grade 1 in name. Not many Grade 1 horses, but one might be lurking and a bit of improver. Who are you going to start off the winning trend tomorrow with? Like to stress.
I'll be honest, this is a terrible race. It is. It's a bad race to start with.
Oh, we want just the winner, though. We still just want the winner.
I think because she's fresh, I think I go for Gin on Lime and getting £7 from the other yokes, and that's really all they are. They're yokes. They're not great. Like,
yes, true, not great.
I wouldn't say she's the very best mare in the world, but Henry's sending her over there. Rachel is over there to ride her. She's getting £7. You know, she's right there on ratings, so I think she's about the best bet in the race.
And she gave us a good day out in November at Cheltenham. One of the funniest things we've ever seen. That was a good day. Anyway, Tom, enlighten us on that. You were meant to be there, by the way. Remember that? That's the one he didn't go to.
The Cheltenham he didn't go to. My
Drogo. He goes to Cheltenham.
Yeah.
I am going to Cheltenham next week, though. Come on, Alice. Entries out on Friday.
Best of luck. Best of luck.
We didn't need
Thank you.
I'm just trying to make you feel that.
Yes, I am rowing in with Dave here with Gin on Lime. She gets the £7. She goes well fresh. She likes the ground. She likes the trip. She was running okay at Cheltenham. You know, I don't think she'd have beaten Third Time Lucky, but she was running well. She's got some good back form behind that, to be fair to her. And yeah, look, she goes into this fresh. Erin River has got to up his game a little bit. Pick Dory is just, you know, these are probably, most of them are Grade 2 horses here, aren't they? But Pick Dory is definitely for me a Grade 2 horse. Warlord ran well in the Arkle. Could be the one to step up. And if there's one in here to go on and progress, I think it's probably him. But I will take Gin on Lime 4-1 to fair price.
I am not going to make it 3 from 3 with Gin on Lime. I am going to go with Erin River. I liked how he beat Beakstown on his comeback run from 200 and odd days off. Backed it up then with a 13-length demolition job against Uncle Alistair. Look, he has to step up on what he's done. But look, Aintree is the kind of meeting where the horses that run at Cheltenham are, you just get mad results. The horses that run Cheltenham don't run up to their normal form, and you get the odd mad result going in here and there. But Erin River, he's a progressive chaser. He's getting the job done really well. Good jumper, travels well. I think he could take the step up a task. Look, this is a Grade 1 on paper. It's not really a Grade 1 horses per se. So he has to find a few pounds, but I think he will at 7-2. I think he's a decent bet. So I will be having a bit on him at 7-2. Right, moving on. We are going to the Grade 1 Juvenile Hurdle. Tom, looks a 2-horse race between Pied Piper and Brazil. Is it really? Are we looking at something at bigger odds that we can follow him home, or is it just concentrating the top 2?
I think it probably is, to be fair. I think they are probably a good bit better than the rest of them. The only other one I'll give a shout out to is interesting, Venetia Williams, for his Fortinet first time on its first run in the UK.
You're getting as bad as us.
Oh my God. Throws Fortinet into a Grade 1 on its first run in the UK. There we go. That everyone knew what I meant, but that's what I was trying to get at. I'm going to take a chance here on Brazil, though. I would rather back Brazil at these prices than Pied Piper. I thought he was very good at Cheltenham. He really put his head down and battled. I still am a big believer in Gaelic Warrior. I think he's a very, very good horse. And Brazil gave him £8 and was the only one. You know, he was good, still good, but clear of Bellex one. He got hampered as well. I think he's a hell of a good chance here. Pied, I don't think there's too much between those two runs of the Triumph and the Fred Winter. That showed as well last year when Jeff Kidder came out and won one of the open races. Look, Piper went and won a Cheltenham Grade 2 in a hat canter, didn't he? And he has beaten Vauban, but Vauban rightly turned the tables on him there, and he's the right favourite. But at the difference in price, I would definitely take Brazil. So yeah, I think Brazil is one of my stronger bets for tomorrow.
For you, Dave?
Yeah, I think Tom is right in saying that there probably not much difference at times between the Fred Winter and the Triumph form, but I do think Vauban is comfortably better than all the rest this season. He could have won easier. Piper probably had as tough a race as Brazil had, but Brazil is just, I think, a bit more battle hardened from the flat. We both said we thought he was the best horse. Obviously, Tom is a big fancy Gaelic warrior, and he probably done things wrong, gave away to Fred Winter, but a lot went wrong for Brazil, and he still ended up winning. He seems to be getting better with runs, more streetwise, jumps a little bit better. So I think Brazil is the bet as well.
If you look at Brazil there as well, if you look at his form, I don't know the best way to say this now, but let's just say he was brought along tenderly with 3 runs. And I think they got worried that they weren't going to get into the Fred Winter. And I don't know, how would you say it? Maybe they let off the handbrake a little bit, and he went and absolutely bolted up at Nice. And then he's gone and won the Fred Winter. So he's an improving horse, but he's just the type of horse that if he was fully revved earlier in the year, maybe he could have been competing in a Triumph as well. So I think he's improving, whereas I think we know where Piper's level is now compared to the other juveniles.
I think Piper just bolts up. I think he's better than Brazil. He travels really strongly through his races, and he finishes well. Look, this is his only third run over hurdles, which was the Triumph Hurdle. Brazil has had, what's that, 5 runs. I think there's more to come from Piper. I think there's going to be a good bit of pace on you here that'll suit him. I think he's just a bit more classier horse than Brazil, and I just think Piper wins. There's not much getting into it. I think he is a lot better than Brazil, and I think he'll win it quite easily. I don't know. I take it. Look, Piper beat Vauban, but Vauban probably wasn't that fully revved up that day. He bolted up then at Cheltenham by 9 lengths. He was 2.5 lengths off Vauban then. If you're looking at it realistically, would you put Brazil 2.5 lengths off Vauban in the Triumph? I wouldn't.
I think Vauban could have won by 12 lengths if he wanted it in the Triumph, to be quite honest.
I don't think Brazil would have been beaten too far in the Triumph. I don't think so.
I still would have put Piper finishing ahead of him. And I think this is the way it's going to happen again this weekend. Or not this weekend, tomorrow. I think he finished ahead of him. I just think there's more to him than there is Brazil. I think Brazil will be a tough horse, as in he'll be a decent Grade 2 horse that'll be keep himself taking over and paying the bills. Where I think Piper has more to come as a horse, and I think he has a bit more class than him. So I think he'll win tomorrow. Right, we will move on to Betway Bowl. Protector at 11-4, Confetti 92, Clan de Zobo 5s, Ken by 5s, Eldorado Allen at 6s, Royal Pagay 7s, Bristol my 28s, Nutswell 40s, Inish Itchy Feet 66-1. It's lashing out. Dave, looks decent now. Race on paper. Protector at finished third in the Gold Cup. Conflated fell in the Ryanair. Before that, he won the Grade 1 3 mile at Leopardstown, beating Manila Indo, who finished second in the Gold Cup. What are you looking at this tough race to pick out one?
Look, Clan de Zobo is a decent yardstick. He runs well in these races, but I'd have to be waiting to see if how Nichols' horses go. The last few weeks and before Cheltenham, after Cheltenham, they really haven't been super. Ken Boy Nichols.
What you say?
I don't know.
I think they've run all right.
Kenboy, he's obviously saved for this, and he won it well a couple of years back. He's kind of getting on now.
He's a bit old now in the tooth.
Conflated coming back off a fall, but was very impressive at Leopardstown. But to me, I like the Rat. I think he's a good horse. I thought he finished in the places in the Gold Cup. I'm not surprised the other two are a bit better than him. He's still quite young, 7 going on 8. He won a Grade 1 at the meeting last year. I think it's laid out for Protectorat. He hasn't had the hardest season either. He obviously ran the Gold Cup, but he was raced sparingly till then. He had the race at Cheltenham at the start of the season, and around Aintree then where he bolted up. He likes the track. That's 2 from 2 at the track, so I think he's very good at Protectorat. And then I think Kenboy will probably follow him home, to be honest.
You, Tom, where are you going?
This is a race I could make a very strong case for the first 4 in the market, to be honest with you. Protectorat, I can see where Dave's coming from. Form at Aintree, good form at Aintree as well. I think he's another one. He's a bit like, and I'm not saying he's going to be a Plutarch next year, but he's unexposed at that trip as well.
Call him a Plutarch, and he called Devin a plotter.
Definitely got sunstroke.
I think that was a very good run from him in the Gold Cup, and as long as it hasn't taken too much out of him, I think he'll run a big race here. Conflated goes back up and trip. Was still going okay when he fell at Cheltenham. He would have definitely been placed, obviously. He looks like he's improved this year, so you wouldn't know what he'd do. Kenboy, again, has got good form at Aintree in the book. For me, maybe just hasn't been quite up to the scratch of the old Kenboy this year. And then you've got Clandazobo, who they put cheap pieces on him in this race last year for the first time, and he bolted up. And now they've put blinkers on him. So he's another one a bit like Kenboy. Probably hasn't been as good this year, but, blinkers back on him, comes here fresh, and he'd have a cracking chance as well. I'm struggling for a selection, to be honest. I won't have a bet in the race. I'll just watch it. I think you could make a strong case for the first 4 in the market, at least, anyway.
The way I'm looking at this now, you touched on Kenboy and Clandazobo. I just think they're on the decline now at this stage. They're 10-year-olds. They haven't shown any relevance of the form of previous years. I'm totally against them, Kenboy and Clandazobo. I think it's between the top 2 in the market. I don't think any of the rest of them really will get into it. Protectorat will probably be my selection in this. He bolted up over, was a course and distance. Well, he bolted up around Aintree, beating. What did he beat?
This race, yeah.
He beat Native River by 20 odd lengths, I think. Fairly good third then in the Gold Cup behind Plutarch Manella Indo. If he doesn't feel too much ill effects from that, I can see him being very, very hard to beat. Conflated is coming here on the back of a heavy fall on the Ryanair. Would he have got close to Plutarch? Probably not. Was he running the right race? Probably not. But again, look, he's winning in the Irish Gold Cup. The jury is still out. It's just both an improvement out of the blue, really. So you can still kind of question it until he goes and does it again. I think the most solid bet in it is Protectorat. He's going to go on any kind of ground that turns up. There's lashing out here right now, so that's probably on the way over. You've no ground worries. He's a very good jumper. He's been improving rapidly throughout the season. And to me, he's the best horse on form in the race this season, and I think he'll take a lot of beating. I think the 7-2 available or 11-4, should I say, available is a decent price because I think he'd be very, very hard to beat. If the rain keeps coming, you can't rule out Royal Pagoy on a bog, but I don't think there'll be enough rain to come. Eldorado Allen can't have him. Bristol Lamoy, same as Kenboy and Clandazobo, regressing. So I think their days are done. I think it's between the top 2. Between Protectorat and Conflated, with Protectorat just having too much for Conflated. Now, we are going to 3:30 and the Betway Aintree Hurdle.
Epiton 7-4, Zanny here 2-1, Bruno up Storm 13-2, Mom Morale 15-2, Glory and Fortune 16s, Mac Fabulous 16s, Guard Your Dreams 20s. Tom, Zanny here stepping up and trip, looks a good opportunity. Has to reverse form. What?
Put on to 330.
Sorry. Ruin me flow. Now I can't do it again. Tom, who wins it? Jesus Christ. So unprofessional.
Yeah, I'd lean with Zana here.
Well, man,
he's probably not a horse that Dave likes because he doesn't win very often. But yeah, I'd say if you looked at, he was off the bridle a long way out in the Champion Hurdle, and I think this step up will suit him. I think next year you'll see him over a longer distance altogether. And yeah, look, Epitant, she probably is back to near her best, I'd say. This is interesting going up and trip with her. I wouldn't rule it out. I think it's a very close race. I would probably just lean on the side of Zana here, but there's not too much in it. I'm not going to be punting much this weekend, lads, to be honest. There's a few select bets, but some of these are very, they're very close races, and you don't know how to take the form from Cheltenham. Mon Morale is in there. I haven't given up on Mon Morale, but for me, he ran at Fontwell like he wanted to go back down to 2 miles. So I'm surprised to see him up to 2.5 here. So I'll watch him, but yeah, Zana here, but not a betting race.
He ran like he hated life.
Yeah, Mon Morale, I thought there was big things coming from him this season, but typical 5-year-old, 4-year-old going into 5-year-old season, maybe he's just not progressed as much as we expected. He was poor the last day, and I agree with Tom. He travelled quite well, and then he just seemed like he didn't get home. I don't mind Zana here, but I just don't get this whole Zana here. Oh, he's definitely going to win, and he's the World Hurdle, Stayers Hurdle horse next year. If Flo and Porter can't beat him next year, I'll grow my hair out, genuinely. Flo and Porter would destroy that horse. Same as goes all the time. You get
talking about as a child.
You get really good mare. Yeah.
Sorry.
You get a really good mare, and I think Epitant's back to her best. She's run very well this season. First race of the season, the fighting fifth, she looked like she was not fully fit, and since then she won at Kempton, ran well against Honeysuckle. She finished ahead of Zana here. I understand people think the step up in distance will help Zana here, but I just can't see him as a 5-year-old giving her £7 and beating her. I just can't see it. So I think they're the wrong price. They're 2-1 odd, kind of 7-4, 2-1. I think she should be closer to even money. So
the way I'm looking at it, Zanny here, to me, I said at the start of the season, he is a horse that needs a trip. He always looked like he was going to be a very good stayer. And why I think he is very good is because of what you touched on there about Mon Morale, a 4-year-old to his 5-year-old season. This fella's been placing in grade 1s as a 5-year-old. There's only improvement going to come from him this season and next season. And his step up and trip is definitely what he needs. He has a length to find with Epitant. And if anything, the step up and trip is going to suit him more than it's going to suit Epitant. If the rain gets into the ground, it's going to blunt Epitant's speed. It's going to bring his stamina into play. And I think he'll take some beating in this. Whether he'll go on next year to beat Florence Porter is an argument for another day. But I think tomorrow is his day. The step up and trip, if the rain arrives, it's going to blunt Epitant's speed, which she doesn't really run well on that kind of ground. And I'll bring his stamina into play. And I just think he's a very, very good horse with a big future over staying trips. And I think this is the time we'll actually see some of his full potential and a horse to look forward to next season. So I think it's between the top two, and I think Zanny here will just outstay Epitant. If it was on quicker ground, you can make a very good case for Epitant having, if it turned into crawl, she'd have the speed to beat him. But I think Zanny here, with his form this season alone, is very good. If you go through it, he bat their castmate by 8 lengths. He was 3 lengths off Sharjah in a grade 1, neck off him then in another grade 1, 6 lengths behind Honeysuckle, and 4.5 behind him in the Champion Hurdle. I think he's a very good horse. I think step up and trip and suit. I think he'll win. Nobody else does. Right. Our first trip over the Grand National fences. Fox Hunters. Jess 11-4. Late Night Pass 7-2. Porlock Bay 52. Cat Tiger 9-1. Cousin Pascal 11s and so on and so forth. Tom, this is your kind of race. You love these ones, and yet you don't like veterans chases.
Yeah, this is right up my street. This one, and this is probably my strongest bet of the week. To be honest, I think Jet is an absolute good thing here.
Yes, Tom.
Yeah, if you look at his form, like he's been let's take this year now. Okay, he had a run for Ollie Murphy when he ran to an RPI of 152. He then bolted up in a Kelso Hunter chase. Hard to tell what rate he ran to there, and then he got beaten. He got beaten by Shantu Flyer at Fontwell, but like we'll forgive him that anyway. Will have been well aimed at this. I presume this is why they came back Hunter chasing. His runs over the Grand National fences, he's ran over them twice now. He's got around in the Beecher, and then he was miles out in front in the Grand National, but loves these fences. Absolutely loves them. And if you look at his form over them and his previous form, you're talking fairly decent form. And then you're comparing it to Hunter chase form, basically. The rest of them in the fields that I'm looking at have a chance. Late Night Pass, Porlock Bay, they are your Hunter chases. I have a feeling that Jet is a step above them. We know he loves the fences. The step back to 2 mile 5 for me is what it's all about. I think he should well be able to last home if he can keep a lid on him for some extent of the race and then let him rock. I just think he'll be really, really hard to beat, to be honest. Sam Welly-Cohen's got loads of experience around there. And I think there's a few no-hope, and there's a lot of no-hopers in here. And then you're looking at a few has-beens and a lot of point-to-point form. So for me, Jet is one of the bets of the week at 3-1.
You want the Jet airplane?
Yeah, look, he was just leading them a merry dancing in the Grand National last year, and he just clearly doesn't quite stay extreme distances or even 3 miles really. You're talking 2 mile 5 here. I think he'll pop out in front. He likes the fences. I don't much get too involved in backing heavily over the national fences because some horses just don't like it. You get strange results in the Beecher and the races in near Christmas and stuff as well. You get horses that come back year after year and run well in it. But he has run well over the fences. I thought he'd be shorter in price. So I think he's a good price. So yeah, I do think he'll win, yeah.
Value then. You nearly said the word value then. You described it without saying it.
Epitant is value.
You think should be a short price?
Yeah, she should be. Should be shorter than Zana here anyway.
She's shorter than Zania.
Not everywhere.
Anyway, Jet wins, jumps these fences for fun. We'll lead him in merry dance, and he just wins. Moving on. Plain and simple. This is a bad race. He's a quite good horse in his own right. As Tom said, there's a lot of dead wood in this race. He'll get his own way. Well, I wouldn't say he'll get his own way out in front. He'll be out in front, out of the way of trouble. And Sam Welly-Cohen could go around here blindfolded. Good record over the fences. And I think Jet just wins. Now, moving on to Friday. Top Novice Hurdle. Jambon at 10-11. El Fabiolo at 3-1. First Street 92. I'm going to try say that at 10-1. Surprise package.
Dina Ardanza.
What Tom? Dave said. Right, Dave, start with you so this time. Jambon for the win.
No, not Jambon for me. And
Sorry, Jambon.
Not Jambon for me.
Oh.
Jesus. I don't know. I just don't see him winning. And
boy,
I like Jambon. He's a decent horse, but I think you see the best of him over fences next season. I think Nicky said he's going over fences.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's the makeup of a chaser.
Jumping 5 fences up the straight like a fucking sprinter.
El Fabiolo is obviously highly touted, but I'd worry that he might be a bit inexperienced with only the one run over hurdles. So I'm going to go for an each way horse. I'm going for Peter Fahey's horse, Surprise Package, who ran at Cheltenham. He won the race at Sandown before running Cheltenham. I think the form of the county hurdle will be strong. I know First Street is in the race as well. West Cork kind of backed up that form. I like Colonel Mustard as well. Stateman is obviously way ahead of his mark in the county hurdle. And then Surprise Package was 6th. He was held up in the rear. Looked like he was going to challenge, but kind of faded up the hill. I think Aintree will probably suit him a little bit better, and I give him an each way shot.
Tom, what about you? You on the Jambon bandwagon, or is this too much of a short time between getting battered by Constitution Hill to go in at that sort of price?
Yeah, I think he's definitely the best horse in this race. And I don't know, Dave. Who did you tip up there? Surprise Package. What has happened to El Fabiola?
I just don't like his price, Tom, with the fact he's only ran around Tremor there, you know?
The playground of champions, David.
Dave had half of the WhatsApp group now on El Fabiola.
Yeah, at 80 to 1, Tom.
Deserted.
0, Tom.
And he didn't run, and it returned.
I think some of the group got 8 to 1 earlier in the week on El Fabiolo. I did not. That's a good bet. I would be happy to say that's a good bet, but not for me at 3 to 1.
So that's a good bet, even though you don't think he'll win.
I'm confused now.
Yes, it's value, Tom.
Yes, we got there.
I just don't care anymore. It's just easier this way. Like.
So this is the last episode of the Finish the Line podcast. Dave has finally lost his mind. Tablets have taken over his brain, and I'm not dealing with this shit anymore.
No, my life has been too stressed. I just not fucked with it anymore. Like, that came out wrong.
That was awful.
Value, Tom.
Value.
Where is Dave O'Keefe, and what have you done with him?
I knew we'd convert him eventually.
Gang or whatever it's called.
That was 80 to 1, Thomas, not 7 to 4.
Is that 7 to 4? 3 to 1.
He's 3 to 1. Yeah, he's 3 to 1. So
no Jambon. No, like what's wrong? Just because I don't want to pick Jambon and like you know what? Friday comes and Surprise Package wins. I'm gonna let everybody have it.
Now,
I don't care then.
For what it's worth, I think Jambon is definitely the best horse in the race. And
I thought he was going to say a sort there. I did. He nearly said Jambon is a sort.
He nearly said the value word.
You heard it here first. Fast.
5 furlongs. Oh, King Stand Horse. Oh.
I'm not even tipping him up, so I don't know where that came from. I think he's nearly definitely the best horse in the race. I would worry that he's had a few hard runs now this season. So look, at even money, I'm willing to take him on. El Fabiolo.
He's had 3 sprint races.
There's a bit of a double negative there. He's probably definitely the best horse. He's probably definitely the best horse.
He might be.
I'd be fair to say he is the best horse in the race. He's had a run around Haydock on horrible ground, and then he's run in a lightning fast Supreme. So look, at evens, I'll take him on, especially when you can have an each way bet in the race. And for
he's
me,
going
3 to 1. El Fabiolo.
No, he's going Surprise Package. I know it.
I'm not. Jesus Christ! I'm going with the other Nicky Henderson trained horse in the race, First Street. Now,
so you're going with the county form, is what you're saying, and exactly what I said.
Exactly. I was going to tell you that I think you are right, Dave. That I do think the county form is very strong as well. And I am going to go with First Street. I thought he ran on really well there. His handicap hurdle form for a novice is very good. He was also placed in the Betfair hurdle, and I think that will translate to at least a place in this race. So I'm happy to take a punt on him. Or the knock-in poor Hendo is getting, my mate Hendo. Everyone loves these other trainers who aren't having winners at the minute.
He does get really defensive when we start talking about Hendo, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loves Hendo. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like Hendo. He's 9 out
a
of 31.
last night about it.
Yeah, he
Well,
loves
he
Little
Nine-
rant last night about it, didn't he? He likes getting it off his
Yeah,
chest.
He just gets shit, like, you
There
know.
we go.
Other
He's
trainers
going.
come out.
He's going.
I got him.
He's going.
I got him.
Yeah.
I got him.
He's off again.
I got him.
Oh, I caught him earlier.
Second one today. Are you getting him?
Yeah, I got him lovely earlier. He just couldn't not say it.
You can see it was there for about 10 seconds. Tom was typing. Oh, I got him!
French Kevin Blake is typing.
God, lads, got done with a French one today. Oh, if anyone saw...
I thought it won.
I thought it won.
I know that one won. That one won, and then
Oh,
I
he
was
tell us about
waiting
the other one, did he?
on-
No. He's keeping all the bigger prices for himself.
Yeah,
This lad was a big price. This lad was 7-1, and if anyone saw the 5:45 at Chantilly, they let a horse go off miles out in front. I don't know why, from about halfway. And there was one horse that came and chased him down, and he was still taking a pull turning in, and he got beaten a half a length, or maybe even less than that. And that was the one I backed and was waiting on him for a treble. So bad old day pointing. Tom, can you explain Shishkin as if it was a human?
He got the head batted off in a boxing ring, and now he's retired.
You're letting him talk about French racing at Chantilly.
I won't even listen to him.
Talking about
I won't even listen. I was checking the score on the football.
Shishkin, it sounds like Nicky hasn't gone into too much detail other than, you know, obviously heat shows up, doesn't it? And that normally detects a problem. And he had 4 or 5 heat patches on his bones. So as they say, it's a strange one. I've never come across that before. So
it's a new disease apparently.
Yeah, it's like
A
coronavirus.
magic bone something or other that
Boneitis.
I tell you what happened to him.
I
Right?
call it energomenitis. That's what I'm calling it.
Yes. And he gave his all at Ascot and he was fucked going to Cheltenham. That's exactly what happened to him. He needs putting away a couple hours sleep. He might need to go see Tiger Roll. Probably friends with Tiger Roll, you
Probably
see.
is, yeah.
And
They
then
look
he'll be,
like they'd be good
hopefully he'll be grand next season, but he might not be because Altior was never grand after Ascot and he was catching pigeons up the gallop doing 5 furlong sprints and he was going to be a King Stand horse.
Mhm.
And he retired, never winning again. So
Poor chap.
that's
I
the
think
end
he
of
needs to
that.
have a word with Altior, see what happens.
Do you know what I don't like about? I like Shishkin.
Head is up, he means business.
I like Shishkin, but you know what I don't like about these colours? Shishkin's colours.
Yeah.
They're
Album
album
photos.
photos colours. 2-time Gold Cup winner, and you don't get a fucking look in.
I had a little rant about that on Twitter.
Shishkin's colours. Album photo.
To the left a bit there. There you go. There you go. Good man.
what a bad goal.
Whose colours are these? Whose colours are these?
It's the black.
There you go. JP's.
It's the black.
I was going to say Gypsy Island, so I mean we're all off them.
That poor horse.
She has so much talent.
So much talent.
She's going to
Gone.
turn up a Punchestown now and
Yeah, on the flat
again.
probably.
A
Yeah.
bumper again. Right, for what it's worth, I think First Street wins as well. He gave me kittens when he came running there next to the Stateman.
Stateman.
Stateman colours. Stateman colours. Yeah, but yeah, let's move on to we've a lot of race to get on. I think First Street is a good bet.
Oh, so after all that shit you've just given me, you agree with me. Thanks, Andrew.
What did I do?
I don't know.
Do what?
I don't know.
He must have gotten lost when he's going on about trotting there and thinking he's hearing things. Anyway, grade 1, 3 mile, 1 furlong, where it's looking like it's going to be 2 horse race when Brave Man's Game and the home press get pulled out because Paul Nichols loses his bottle and it won't be soft enough for the home press. But anyway, Dave.
And I think it will be soft enough for La Home Presse, and then he won't run Brave Man's Game because it's soft ground.
Oh no, my foot might get wet.
And if you're worried that he won't stay, I hope they all run. 4 good horses. Fury Road is not a bad horse as well.
That's seeing crossing the line, Leopardstown.
Ahoy is there, and he ran well at the meeting last year. You bet Brave Man's Game, but look, it's La Home Presse for me. I think he's the real deal.
Le Home Presse. Tom, you with Le Home Presse. That was enough.
No, I was very impressed with him at Cheltenham. Very, very impressed. But I'm going to stick with Braveman's game. I don't think there's much in it. And I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the race. But yeah, I'll stick with Braveman's game.
And for my sins, I'm going to stick with a high senior. If he brushed up in his jumping, he could get a lot closer. He battered Braveman's game at this course last year, initially over hurdles. But yeah, look, I'll give him another chance at 9-2. I'll have a little tenner on that and sit back and enjoy.
If the home press and 4-4 run and the home press wins,
I think the home press beat Braveman's
wins convincingly, like by 6, 7, 8 lengths, are you going to say, okay, he is a really good horse?
He's a really good horse.
Thank you very much.
He's a really good horse.
He don't even need to win, and he said it.
He is, though. He's a really good horse.
Yeah. Good jockey, too.
I do like Charlie Deutsch.
Charlie Deutsch is the
I
real
do like
winner.
Charlie Deutsch. I think he's in for a big job very soon. Did we go through here for?
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Belling Chase, Tom. Fakir Dudari, who isn't a grade 1 horse, but running in grade 1s and winning grade 1s. Does he win a grade 1?
Yeah.
Didn't like that.
Yeah, it's as simple as that for me. This lad will go and do the business. He's got good form around Aintree. He's won there and been second there. And against this field, he's just better than them, in my opinion.
What was he called? Yaki or Dudari?
Yep.
Does he win, Dave? No, that's anytime Dave.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, Fakir is all right, and
he's going for Charlie Deutsch, Tom.
He's all right when he's like 10-1, and you can back him each way because he'll run okay. Like, he runs okay all the time.
He does.
He comes second. He comes third. He don't win a whole lot. But yeah, this time last year, Shishkin bet a horse called Funambul Civila, and everyone went, "Who the heck is Funambul Civila?
Who is he?"
Run one bad race since in a handicap at Cheltenham. Since then, first at Doncaster, first at Newbury, second to Shishkin's demise and Nargamene in the champion chase.
Say it properly, please.
And Nargamenitis.
Thank you.
Something like that. Yeah, I think Funambul Civila each way. If you're getting 5-1, great bet.
Yeah, it's a race now. I'll be honest.
You're going for Funambul Civila, I know you.
No, I'm not.
You are.
He's going for Fakir.
No, if he was going for Fakir, he would have just said Fakir is going to win. He knows he possibly might not win. At 6-4,
he wants to tip a winner, so he's going for Fakir.
I want value, Tom. I want a value bet.
I think 13-8, 6-4. What is he with Hollywood bets? 6-4. Yeah, I think that's value.
The way I'm looking at it, if Fakir Dudari lined up in the champion chase, I think he will be gasping for air behind Funambul Savola. I think he has the best form in the race as of right now. You would have need to stay that day in the Gold Cup, in the champion chase, which he done well. I think the step up and trip is going to be no issue to him. If I'm not mistaken, he run over that trip before.
He has, yeah. He's got beaten.
He's run over a couple of times, yeah.
He has.
Yeah, he's got beaten.
He's gotten beaten.
Behind first flow in Vienna Court, being 26 lengths in Cheltenham.
Yeah, that's fine. You keep tipping up your French things and just leave us to the big boy stuff.
I'll keep making money.
But yeah, look, if he backs up that run behind an Ergamine, he could play a big part. I think he probably should be shorter. Fakir will be very hard to beat if he's the one that skipped Cheltenham. He's the more fresh horse. But again, this is a race where I think we'll get something mental winning it.
Yeah, like St. Calvin.
Something mad is going to win this race. So I'm not pinning my flag to any horse as yet. I think Funambul Savola. Christ, that's a hard name to say. If he steps up on that again, could be playing a big part in this. But this is a race I'm literally going to sit back and watch because I can see all mankind could win. Captain Guinness could suddenly decide to be a racehorse and win. No, Mr. Fisher. No, he's not going to win. Hitman. Something mad is going to happen here.
in the comments, people are saying Facchio should be 4 to 5, so on and so forth. Like, that's your opinion, and if you think that's the case, Tom thinks he's value. Weigh in. I would not trust that horse at 6 to 4, 5 to 4 favourite.
Why did he not win enough?
It's been mentioned in the comments, and Andrew's mentioned it a couple of times. When he was younger, he was very fast jumper. Over the years, as he's got older, his jumping has been suspect at times. He's belted a few of them along the way. He did it at Clonmel behind Allaho. I think it was the first fence. He literally jumped head first through it. So
He really did.
he's just not for me. It's just not for me at 6 to 4. No way.
That was a fair
It's just, you know, he could go mad.
He could go off with the clappers and not come back. Like, so Royale is not a bad horse in his own right.
He could go off like the clappers and not come back. What? End up in Liverpool city centre or something?
He could do that, or he'd end up in Beecher's Brook somewhere head first.
End up in the.
He'd go off in the cross. He'd go off in the Grand National course all of a sudden. Yeah, well, because the race, I probably won't have a bet on this. I'm winning a lot that day. Because anything can win it. Genuine, anything can win that. Right, where are we next? Oh, the Sefton Novice Hurdle. Another suspect grade 1. Banbridge is 10 to 3. Ginello Bello 4 to 1. Skytastic 6 to 1. Crystal Glory 8, Stycorn 8, Green Book 10s, 12 to 1. Bigger Tom, again, not a great grade 1 at all. But again, somebody has to win it.
Yeah, this is a horrible, horrible race now to be trying to pick a horse out in. You've got Banbridge coming off the back of a good win at Cheltenham. He's going up in trip. It's the first time he's tried this trip. You know, that's a bit of a question mark, maybe. Gelino Bello looks maybe a little bit better at those middle range trips. Although he is probably the one I side with here. Really tricky race. I think the one that's maybe looked over price-wise is Staghorn. If you can forgive him that run, which I didn't think that Cheltenham was going to suit him for a minute. I think this on a flatter track will be much more up his alley. And if you can forgive him that run, I'd give Staghorn a chance as well.
David?
Yeah, very hard race to call. And throughout the years, there's been some mad results in this race as well. Horses that have run in the Albert Bartlett then maybe ran back here. They just didn't run well. I just picked an outsider. I like the way he won the last day. He seems progressive going up and trip. And it's my mate, Ben Pauling's horse, Bow to Greatness.
Okay. Now, let's stop this shit. There's a fella we're going to thump the head off.
I'm putting up 2 Ben Pauling horses in this podcast. 2. That's the first one.
Dave, he was my outsider.
Don't say you're going to do the Ben Pauling double.
I'm going to do Ben Pauling double. Bow to Greatness and the other one that I put up. Tom, you get on that too. Don't miss out. Tom knows.
Okay. Bow to Greatness has a chance here as well, Dave.
I'm going to give Staghorn another chance. I put him up as an outsider for the Albert Bartlett, ran no start of race. I think back in Camera Waters, this is going to be a bit easier than Albert Bartlett. His 2 wins were very good. I think he's worth another chance in what is a wide open race. Banbridge, look, if he was a bit bigger, I'd go in with him. He's the horse I backed in the Martin Pipe. I think 7 to 2, stepping up and trip is one I'd leave alone. Skytastic could be interesting. Sam Thomas is having a good season for a young trainer. Gino Bello, I think he's a horse that promised a bit when he's placed behind Charles Burns' horse name.
Come on, get it now.
Oi.
He's going to win a race next time. Blazing
Cal.
Great horse.
But he's kind of disappointed since he won. He's after winning the last time, but that was a Mickey Mouse race, really. But yeah, Staghorn for me. I'll take a chance of Staghorn at about 8-10 to 1. He'll do for me. This. Right, now we are moving. Are we on to Saturday? We're on to Saturday.
Are we not doing the...
What are we not doing? What did I forget?
The Topham. The other national.
I forgot to put Topham. My bad. Let's do Topham. Where's Topham? 4 or 5?
Yep.
Right, go through it and I get the prices here.
Do I
Oh, you the prices there. You
Yeah.
do that there. You go and go for it.
Mr. Coffee is the favourite. Then you have 5-Star Getaway, Royal Rendezvous, Senior Citizen, Killer Clown, Fantastic Lady, Mac Totty. I'm not saying them all. Size and Potsy,
Same one.
Snugs but a Hole, and then 16-1 Bardash.
No book is running it.
Yeah, there's
Good lord.
some good old timers in this.
Well, take it away. Go on. You started.
I was going through it and I said after Cheltenham, I thought Mr. Coffee would win a big handicap, but at 3 miles, this 2 mile 5 again, he just looks like he wanted all of the trip. I think it was in the Kim Yori ran, and he's still done a bit of mad things, so it wouldn't even surprise me if he falls. But I went through the rest of them, I was like, no issues, problems, size and potsy.
What's
no.
this? Is this your phone book
And
of your
then,
women?
yeah, and then I came to a horse that just randomly runs well every now and again. Andrew always puts him up.
Wait, whoa. Let me see.
Foxy Jacks.
Oh, what a legend. Oh, absolute nutcase.
Foxy Jacks each way. That's what I'm going for.
Oh, I didn't even look at this race, but that's my selection as well. I didn't even know he's run. Legend. He's going to win a huge price again soon.
It don't matter where he finished in races either. It could be pulled up, fell 9-8-1, 0, 9-9-0-1.
Pull up.
So he's
Unseat
just one,
rider.
he's one of these horses that runs randomly well. He ran very well at Punchdown Festival last year.
Mm-hmm.
He won out of nowhere. I think it's 40-1. And at Leopardstown, he was 33-40-1.
50s.
He was second. I think Tom's horse he tipped up. Maybe better. Could be wrong.
I tipped Fox Jack up.
You
50s.
did. Birchdale.
Didn't get any credit for putting him up at 50s.
Birchdale bet him, Tom. You
Okay.
tipped up to him at Leopardstown.
Where is he? Is he injured or something? I haven't seen him since. Have we? Birchdale.
No idea. Maybe
Birchtown.
Punchestown.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's injured.
Punchestown, maybe.
Okay, we'll have a bit on Punchestown. Oh, speaking of Punchestown, keep an eye out on all our social media channels over the next few days. We have a massive ticket giveaway for the Punchestown Festival. Flexi tickets for any day of the Punchestown Festival. We have loads to give away. Anyway, Tom, your selection.
My selection is going to be Spirit of the Games each way. He's done me some good turns this year. I've been backing him, each way in a couple of handicaps, and he's done all right for me.
Put that up.
Sorry, Tom. Kubo just put it in the comment. Notebook has a bigger arse than King Harsh.
Wow. He's not wrong either.
He's literally not wrong.
Oh, brilliant. Anyway, sorry, Tom.
Yeah, Spirit of the Games. He's ran himself to be a well-handicapped horse now in the UK. He ran a cracker at Cheltenham in January off 137. He was off 136 in the plate at Cheltenham, running on to be third, and he's off 136 again. If he takes to the fences, then I think you could never really say with confidence that Spirit of the Games is going to win a race. But if he takes the fences off 10 stone 1, I think if you get an extended place terms here as well, I think he'll be in the places. And the horse I would love to see you win it, just because it would piss Dave off like nothing else, is Battle Over Doyen. I'd pay money to see him win this now.
Do you want a match bet that he won't get around?
I like this.
Yes.
What do you want?
2 points.
Ooh,
4.
6.
4 points. Okay. Drink responsibly. He's only failed to get round. He's only failed to get round in 3 of his 18 starts. I know we're over the. I know we're over the national
fence. Back of the bacon fries.
No, I don't want bacon fries. 4 points in a battered sausage.
Ooh.
4 points in a battered sausage. Deal.
Okay.
Oh, brilliant. Right, now we're moving on to Saturday, and the Mersey Novice Hurdle. 3 stripe live for a good old buddy old pal at 5-2. Walking on here 3-1. L8 Bell.
L.A. Bell.
Sage Star 7-1. Good risk at all 7s. Not large 8s. Conan Mustard 8. 14-1 bigger. The rest, Dave. We can't desert them now, can we?
No.
3 Stripe Life.
This is a class race. This is a really good race. I really hope 3 Stripe Life wins.
But don't say I really hope. That means you're not putting him up.
No, I hope he wins, but Colonel Mustard would worry me.
You worry me now tonight. Did you come out with some mad statements today?
He has Colonel Mustard on form, but he is an each way chance. Ran that good county hurdle as well, but yeah, 3 Stripe Life. Hope he wins. He deserves it.
God. Tom, what about you?
Yeah, I'll stick with 3 Stripe Life. He's the only horse who's been able to get anywhere near Sir Gerhard this year. And he should be a Grade 1 winner already this year as well. So, look, he's had a few tough races. He seems to have a really good constitution, though. He takes his races very well. And if there's a horse who deserves to win one of these, I think it's him. So, and I actually think, I'm just checking, what price is he, Andrew?
It's 5-2.
Yeah, I think that's a fair price. I'd be worried about walking on air coming here fresh. Colonel Mustard, I'm gutted they're going here. I'd love to have seen him go to Punchestown with that lad. But yeah, 3 Stripe Life, 5-2, fair price, I think.
Yeah, I'm saying 3 Stripe Life, the only horse to get anywhere near. Jesus Christ, they're going to hit me head.
Sir Gerhard.
That fella. Wow. To get near Sir Gerhard. Really appreciate the step up and trip. He closed the gap from the Dublin Race Festival to Cheltenham. I think he's by and far the best horse in this race. I think walking on here will need to come on huge amount from his maiden win to beat 3 Stripe Life. And I think 5-2 is a very, very nice price for 3 Stripe Life. Now, Mulhall, Novice Chase, Edward Stone wins. Are we moving on?
Yeah, look, it's probably a penalty kick for Edwardstone, but we have discussed that some horses don't run back well after Cheltenham, but it looks penalty kick, but I'd give Amarillo Sky an each way chance. He might be an each way bet for people looking for a place or something like that.
Tom, something to follow along.
For me, Edwardstone, he's been rock solid. He's taken his racing so well all season. He ran well at Aintree last year. I just think he's better than these, to be honest. Gentleman to me is second in the market, and I think he would rank a couple of places below the top novices in Ireland. So, yeah, for me, Edwardstone, penalty kick. I'm not going to get stuck in at 4-7, but yeah, I think he should be winning. To follow him home, probably Gentleman to me. Although third time lucky has skipped Cheltenham and come here, so yeah, third time lucky or Gentleman to me. I don't know. I'm not going to be having a bet on this race.
Yeah, Edwardstone wins. Each way bet, I think Mick Pastor at about 20-1. He's one horse that will be played very, very late and played for a place. Wow. I won't say it. I was going to say something. There you go. Oh, pills. Mick Pastor, he's a horse that does all of his work on the bridle, and I think this race is going to be run at a decent clip with third time lucky in there for pleasure in there as well. I think he could nick third place. We get 3 places, 20-25-1. I think he'd be all right each way betting this. Again, another mad result for him, fall into a place. Right, moving on to the Liverpool Hurdle. I forgot to put up Florian Porter's price. He was 7-4. Time hit 11-4. Champ 11-4. The Devil's Coachman 15-2. Slow to Burley and 9s. Ashley Bob 10s. For what? Slow to Burley. Yes, no. Slow to Burley. And whoever. Ashley Bob 10s. Is Florian Porter running here?
I think so. They won't run him at Punchestown because they won't go right-handed anymore.
So if that's the case, Tom, surely wins again.
Yes, you would imagine so. Yes, yeah. I think he's very good.
Unconvincing yet again.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I'm not 100% convinced. I'm not. Look, time is going to have a chance again. No, I'm not. I'm not going to tip up Sire Early. I think this would be a bit quick for him. The one I'm going to throw up each way, and just to take one that has skipped Cheltenham, is probably still improving, is the Devil's Coachman. Started life this season over fences, third behind Fernie Hollow, and then second behind St. Sam. 2 very good runs, and then they've come back hurdling with him and kept his novice status for next year. And he won the Boyne Hurdle by a head, but won it very, very well, I thought. Mark Walsh just got him up on the line, but I feel he knew what he was doing, put it that way. The form of that has worked out pretty well. The Coral Cup first and third were behind him. Ashdale Bob was behind him, and Commander of Fleet was also behind him in that race. And yeah, I think he should have a very good chance each way, I think. Yeah.
What about your Florence Porter's number one fan?
Yeah, Florence Porter will win.
I like it. Straight to the point.
Sorry, lads. There was another one I wanted to. I knew there was. I was looking down and I said, "There's another one in this." The other one is Kashari. Yeah. Dave. And this is also I'm going to have a bet on. He's 20 to 1. He's a wild price. You go back and look. I remember I was watching the World Hurdle and it was back Florence Porter, and I was like, "What's that horse in the white and blue colours?" I didn't know who it was because you know all the big colours.
Yeah, we did.
Kashari.
We did. We backed him 150 to 1 each way.
175 to 1 each way.
175 to 1 each way.
Jesus.
Tony's going to place as well.
I was like, "Go on, you fucker!"
Yeah, he finished 7th, but he was only beaten 7 lengths. He ran an absolute stormer. He's got good form at Aintree as well. He won here on his first start for David Christie of 149 in a handicap of 149 at 80 to 1. Yeah, it's amazing that horses go on from Willie Mullins's, but this lad appears to. He's 10, but he's run 2 cracking races there. You know he likes the track. This could cut up. If the Devil's Coachman didn't run, if Sire Burley didn't run, Ashdale Bob, this could cut up. And I think 20 to 1, I presume they'll come here because of his good form at the track. I'm going to be backing him at 20 to 1.
Florence Porter first, Time Hill second, Kashari third. There's the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, Kashari to place wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. Tom robbed it on me because that was the one I was putting up each way. For all the reasons Tom said, not going to repeat. Ran really well. Looked like he was going to at least place in the World Hurdle before he just got run out of it. One before that, and he's a bit of back class. Again, Aintree has been known to throw up a strange result or two, and he could place. Now we're going to finish with the main event. The Randox Hill Grand National. 4 miles, 2.5 furlongs of absolute fantasticness. But who is going to win the 40 runner, 30 fences to jump Grand National? Tom.
So I'm going to put up 3. I'm going to leave one of them to Dave because we discussed it. We discussed it in the gym because I work out now. So I'll leave that one to Dave, and he can tell you which one it is I'll chip in with. First 2 are at the head of the market, basically. First one is Delta Work. He's my main bet for this. I think he's got a hell of a chance. Just the way he took to those national fences, the cross-country fences, really looks to have perked him up. Gordon said, I can't remember how many it was now, but all of his runs before that, going back to December 2018, are in grade 1s. And he won a hell of a lot of them. Very, very highly talented horse on his day. That looked to really perk him up. They were 21 lengths clear, him and Tiger Roll. And I think he won snugly, to be honest. That makes him a little bit well handicapped in this, I feel, as well. Some people had mentioned the ground for him. I'm not worried at all about the ground. If you go back and look, he's won a few grade 1s on good ground, and he's won a grade 1 over 2 mile 4 on good ground. So I don't think there's any ground worries. I think we definitely know he stays. And he's such a solid bet for me. I know he's only, what is he, Andrew, 8-1?
8-1.
Yeah, 8-1. But even at that, lads, I think he's a really solid bet. I think he's got a hell of a chance in this. The other one then is Any Second Now. I went back and watched last year's National, because I remember, everyone talks about him getting hampered, and I wondered, sometimes these things get blown up out of proportion, and they're probably not as bad as people say they are, or think they are in hindsight. This lad went into the fence in about fifth, and I think I was trying to count how many there were, and I couldn't quite count because they were blurred up a good bit. But he came out about 20th. Like, he literally went from up in the leading pack to up in the leading like 5 or 6 to out the back in the last few of them. To finish where he did from there was an unbelievable run. He got into such a lovely rhythm as well. Mark Walsh has given him a great ride going down the inner. He is £7 higher this year, but if you put it into the context of Minella Times, the winner, who is, what is he? Is he £15 higher? 146, and he's now off. £15 higher. That could well have been Any Second Now. He's had 2 quiet runs this year, and then straight away after the national weights released, he goes and wins a grade 3, beating Ascari at 10. He's a horse with a lot of ability, and I think he's got a hell of a chance. I know they're at the head of the market, but in the reality of the way they've made this race now, and I agree with it, because it should be safe. We don't want to see horses falling over massive obstacles and killing themselves. So it is good that they've made it a safe race, but they've made it a safe race now that it is just a good handicap chase, basically. You will get your fallers, your unseats, horses who don't take to it. But in these two, you've got 2 horses who like the course, will stay the trip. I think you're giving yourself a hell of a good chance to be back in the winner, or at least be coming with a shout coming to the last couple of fences if you're on Delta Work in Any Second Now. The other one is a bigger price, and I will leave that to Dave.
Go for it.
Yeah, look, for me, it's very hard to be siding with horses that are below kind of double figures in the market in this. Of the ones that are, I'd side with Snow Leopardess. I think she's probably the best chance, because again, I was trying to find horses that are not too high in the handicap, or kind of going over the 11 stone kind of 2-3 mark. So I sided with a few outsiders. I like 2 for the specific reason that they were off for a while and then have come back this season, specifically with the aim being that they go for the Grand National. One of them is the Rasher Counter, Emma Lavelle's horse that won the Ladbroke, or what was the Hennessy, a couple of years back. He ran in February. He was 4th in a decent enough races, the Denman Chase with Eldorado Allen and Royal Pagoy. He was 4th. He was beaten a long way, but he wouldn't be up to that standard as a grade 2. Some of them horses are running in grade 1s. I think he has a chance. Again, very hard to get around, but I think he'll stay, and he's trained specifically for it. Another one, same type of horse. He's been off injured, come back. He had a run at Newbury as well. He was 4th to a horse that Andrew likes, Painted Dream. Kind of kidded around. It's Kildesart, Ben Pauling's horse, so that's the second Ben Pauling horse. His back form is very strong in top level handicaps. He won a grade 3, I think, novice handicap at Aintree, so he's course form. It wasn't over national fences, but it is course form. He's run well in the big handicap in the first day at Cheltenham, was the ultimate now.
Oh, yeah.
He was beaten by the conditional. He then ran well in the next season's Hennessy and got injured, and we haven't seen him. He was injured during the race. So he's obviously primed for a big run. And then the last one is a horse that kind of runs in all these big handicaps. He was 2nd. I think he was favourite in the Scottish National last year. It's Dingo Dollar. He's been running not at marathon trips this year. He was 4th around Kelso, 3rd around Newcastle to I Right in the rehearsal chase, and Goodbye Bobby, who's another good standard of a handicapper. And then he had a prep run in that listed race that Nutswell won at Kelso, which again probably had horses that were above the standard that he is. Esparderama was in that race as well. Wrong trip. He wants a good long 3.5 miles. He's getting his 4.5 miles here. 2nd in the Scottish National last year, so the trip isn't an issue. I think he's been kind of kidded around this year with the national in mind, and he is the 3rd one. So they're all around 33s, 40s. Dingo Dollar, you'll probably get 50 to 1 as well.
Just to jump in there, Andrew, the one that I'm on and sharing with Dave is Kildesart. I backed him each way. I think he's got a hell of a chance for the reasons Dave said. And just to add, he was once rated 156. He's now down to 148, I think. 148. James Bone takes the ride. Ben Pauling's had a much better year than he has for a few previous. And if you go back and watch this lad's run at Newbury on the 5th of March, 2 mile 4, he was just kidded around. It was a really nice run. He stayed on really well. I'd say they were absolutely delighted with the way he ran. I think he's got a cracking chance of being in places. And just a couple of people are saying about like the weights and stuff. Like you go back and you can win this off a decent weight now, especially on better ground. And I know they're due some rain, but like it's not going to be heavy or anything. It's going to be good to soft, worst, I think. Tiger Roll won it off 11.5. Many Clouds won it off 11.9. Neptune Collonge won it off 11.6. And Don't Push It won it off 11.5. He was flanked by Ballabriggs 11 stone, Monmouth 11 stone. So you can win it off decent weights. And I think if you run a class horse in it, then you've got a good chance still.
Yeah, like the better standard horses are well able to carry weights like that and give it away to lesser horses. Like this is why I get drawn to the Delta work straight away. 5-time Grade 1 winner over fences. Himself and Tiger Roll were miles clear in the cross-country chase. And the way I kind of looking at it, if Tiger Roll was in here and you take Delta work out of the cross-country, what price would Tiger Roll be in this? He'd be short than Delta work is right now. There's no two ways about it. I think 8 to 1 is a fair price, considering the class that he has. Look, it's the same as Tom Annie second now. Would he have won last year if he wasn't stopped in his tracks by a faller? Geez, he probably could have well gone very, very close. Stopped in his tracks, he, as Tom said, he went from about 4th or 5th to 20th. At one stage, he got done so well to get back. Typical Grand National horse, bloody runs to start the season. Then when the weights are out, won the Bobby Joe Chase, beating Ascaria 10 by a nose. Another one you can't rule out. Ooh, your girlfriend's back, Dave.
Yeah. Look at man.
But yeah, they're the two main ones. Look, I'm not going to add on anything as Tom said about them. The two of them have an unbelievable chance. Other ones that at bigger price that I think have a decent chance. One of them being Dead Duty. He came back to form this season. He's been notoriously very hard horse to train with his. You can see even in his go through his form, he's had a 758 day break. He's had a 229 day break. He's had a 393 day break. So they seem to be kind of getting a nice bit of runs into him now this season, and he seems to be keeping sound. He won the Hollywood West Grand National Trial, beating Champagne Platinum by 3 lengths on heavy ground. He was then 12 lengths 6 to Cork Rambler on ground that wouldn't have suited him at all on good to soft at Cheltenham Festival. And he was once rated 159 over fences. He's now rated 144. So if you want to believe that there's still enough talent, then he looks still on a very good mark, considering what he done over fences a few years ago. You saw this year the spark is still there. I think the step up and trip is going to do him no harm whatsoever. They go straight slower for him, considering that it might be probably better ground. I can see him run a huge race at 40 to 1. I think he is 40s, I think I see. 40-1, yeah. Another one, Toyesti's winner, Longhouse Post. The rain comes, that brings him right into this. Threatened to be a very good horse in his younger days. Got it all together in Toyesti's on soft ground. Right after his last run, that was over hurdles. Great two behind the Devil's Coachman. Didn't see him. He was back though. Like defeat was out of the question. I think he's back from 7s into 5-2. Yeah, forgive him that. His win at Gorn in Triestes was a very good win. Put it all together. I think he could run and have a huge race in this if the ground comes up soft. But the two main ones would be Delta Work any second now, and then Longhouse Post and Death Duty at bigger prices.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't put anybody off Longhouse Post, but I just steered away again because the weight he's carrying.
Right, Naps next best for the festival.
This is why I hate stats before we go any further, right? Somebody just said that. I'm not knocking this person now at all. I don't even know who it was. It just said all 15 finishers last year were under 11 stone. Do you know how many horses were above 11 stone in the National last year?
6.
4.
4.
Oh, okay.
That is in a nutshell why I hate stats.
Yeah, I don't do stats. You do. Stats are thief.
My nap is Protector at tomorrow anyway.
Okay. Next best?
My next best is 2 seconds now.
Take your time.
I'm trying to find the 3 Stripe Life. I was trying to find a race.
Well, mine is the same as his, but the opposite way around.
Mine is going to be Jet. I'm sticking over the national fences now. Mine's going to be Jet in the Fox Hunters as my nap. And then I'm having 2 next bests as I only had 1 nap the other day. So I'm taking any second now and Delta Work in the Grand National.
Oh, he sounds like my children. Well, he had that the other day, so I'm getting 2 now.
Yeah. And my nap won, so that was good. But, yeah.
Right. Take price out of it. 1 selection for the National. Main selection.
Kill the start.
Tom.
Delta Work.
Delta Work. Right. That is us done for our Grand National preview. We will not be doing token points on Sunday because we will be up in the Curragh for the Hollywood Bets Gladness Stakes Day. So anyone's up there, we will be up there.
Anyone up there, come say hello. Have a glass of wine with us. I'll be on the red.
He's really sticking to not beer.
Yeah, no beer, no alcohol.
I told him he can go mad on Sunday.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
I've had 1 beer in 2 weeks now. So.
Well done, Tom.
Yeah,
I had 100 in the weeks previous before that, so it's about time.
I'm in England actually all next week, so it's gonna be a heavy one. And then if Alice goes and wins on Thursday, all bets are off. You mightn't see me for a few weeks, lads, if Alice wins at Cheltenham.
Are you going to Ice next week?
Yeah. Are you?
I don't know yet. I might be. I didn't decide
You should
yet.
go. You should go. Yeah, I'm going to that. Yeah.
Can I come too?
Oh no, hang on. I might be going to a different one now. Is that on at the end of the week or the start of the week?
Jesus Christ.
Wednesday?
He don't even know when he's going.
Yeah. Wednesday.
I think it's Wednesday.
Yeah. We'll chat off the show, but yeah, I'm going to that.
Yeah.
Let's not let you on. Look at the show.
Right, so that's us done. If anyone's up in the car on Sunday, we'll be up there and we might have more tickets available. I'll know tomorrow. So keep an eye on our social media platforms for all that. But anyone that has commented on a previous video, again, put your email address underneath and I'll sort them all out for them to be sent out. So until next week, have a good weekend. Enjoy the Grand National Festival. Enjoy life. And we'll see you next week.